From appalling to appealing. From run down to restored. Auto Restorations, New Zealand's foremost restoration company, making the car of your dreams a dream come true. In 1973, Auto Restorations was started to service the repair needs of three friends.
And they were having trouble getting the restoration work done on their cars, and I just answered an advert in the paper, and that was the start of Auto Restorations.
34 years and 8,500 jobs later, it's fair to say Auto Restorations deserve their reputation as the restoration team. They have never turned down a job.
We work on the theory that if they were built 60, 70 years ago, then it can be done again.
And it is that willingness to take on all makes and models that now sees over half of the business coming from overseas vehicle owners.
We do veteran, vintage, classic cars and historical racing cars. We've never specialised in any particular brand of car, but we seem to have had a lot of work on Alfa Romeos, Bugattis, Ferraris.
In fact, over the first 20 years of business, Auto Restorations became so trusted and popular that they had to move to bigger premises. The move to 52 Stewart Street in the centre of Christchurch City in 1998 was perfect. Plenty of parking, a more modern building, and a better layout with excellent working conditions.
In the machine shop, we have the lathes and mills and various equipment where we can produce the missing parts for cars. The mechanical shop is where the engine rebuilds, the suspension, chassis and parts like that are all carried out. The body shop, we can handle everything from new wooden frame bodies or metal frame bodies, all the panels made both in aluminium and steel. We also can make windscreens, door handles, hood bows, anything associated with bodies. We have the machinery where we can make new bearings and spin white metal into them for mainly vintage and veteran cars. We also have a radiator shop where we not only fit new cores to existing radiators, but we're involved in actually completely making new radiators, including vintage aircraft.
In 2005, a new building was erected to house the paint shop and bake oven and a dedicated area for parts and vehicle storage. Over the years, Auto Restorations have had some interesting challenges. The 1927 Delage was one of the most priceless classic cars ever restored in the Southern Hemisphere.
Lots of obstacles. Originally, when the car first arrived, lots of pieces were missing.
The crankshaft runs in roller bearings, and we had to scour the world for a start to find the needle rollers before we could actually make the bearing cages, before we could get the new crankshaft made.
For me, the biggest problem of all was a lack of photos on detail of the car. There were some pretty good engineering challenges in the way of the engine. We had to do a crankshaft for it, we had to do supercharger rotors. A lot of the carburetor parts were missing out of the carburetor, although we had a body. We had to make all of those. That's floats and butterflies and butterfly shafts. 2 or 3 of the gears in the front of the engine we had to be replaced. In collaboration with some people in England, we made a gearbox for it. So we took the pre-select out and put the 5-speed in, and we had the car out on the track in 2006.
To this day, the 1927 Delage was one of the most priceless classic cars ever restored in the Southern Hemisphere. So you have a car, you want it restored, but how does it work?
The first thing is to find out from the owner what his instructions are. From there, we will strip the car down, check all the mechanical parts for condition. Most parts are sent for crack testing, and if there's any problems there, the parts would have to be renewed. As far as the body goes, it's a matter of comparing the body now to how the owner wants it restored. Any parts that are required that are missing then have to be made. Quite often we have to find or borrow other parts to copy. From there, the the body man will concentrate on the body, and of course the mechanical I will do the mechanical side. And sometimes it's a matter of dummying up the mechanicals into a car while the body man is doing the body, just to make sure things fit, and then later on they're removed again. And then when the body work is finished, it goes through to the paint shop. Once we're happy with the cars are running correctly and have got quite a few miles on them, then we will ship them back to the owners.
Auto Restorations, 26 car lovers with just one goal: world-class restorations. Whether it needs panel beating, machining, mechanical work, coach building or auto refinishing, the name says it all: Auto Restorations. Of course, the main reason that Auto Restorations do what they do is for the love of the job, but of course it doesn't hurt to win a few awards along the way, like First in Class Pebble Beach in 1988, 2002 and 2005. Best of Show at the Louis Vuitton Concours d'Elegance, UK, 1991. Winner of the Monterey Cup Laguna, 1994. First place at the Automobile Stradale, Italy, 1997. And the Sears Trophy for Best Restoration, 1986. When thousands of people from all over the world trust their classic vehicle to Auto Restorations, it's a fair indication that they're doing something right. State-of-the-art facilities and professional specialist staff, but there's also little things that really make Auto Restorations outstanding.
We have an arrangement with customs where we can bring cars in on a temporary entry basis where there's no duty or GST payable.
Regular contact via email, letting you know how your project is going. Auto Restorations also lets you rest easy, knowing that they have the ability to control the whole job from start to finish. Your vehicle is being looked after in one place by one team of experts. If you don't need a full car restoration, you may be interested in Auto Restoration's custom-built car parts with radiators for Alfa Romeos and Blitz & Benz, Ferrari-style fuel and oil lines, labels and nameplates. Currently, Auto Restorations are working on dozens of restorations, but there is always a spare spot in their workshop just for you. Contact Auto Restorations today at their premises. Auto Restorations Limited, 52 Stewart Street, Christchurch, New Zealand. And be sure to check out all their info and photos online at www.autorestorations.co.nz.